Chair, the Third District Councilwoman Xanthi Albert. At this time, I will call for the roll of the committee members first. Councilwoman present, Councilmember Kobe Owens,
Present.
Vice Chair Nathan Field, Councilmember Chris Johnson, Councilmember Christian Willauer, President Ernest Trippy Congo.
Here.
As a friendly reminder, only members of the committee should be making motions and seconding them. In this case, it's not necessary. It's just, this is just a presentation. And that's what we're here today, to hear the presentation, discussion on street common devices by the Department of Streets, City of Philadelphia. And what is her name? I'm sorry. Well, we can get started and she can call. No, it's a female on here. So when she gets on, she can introduce herself because the first deputy commissioner, Richard, I don't think he was able to make it. I think so. So we can get started if she's on there.
It just was Richard's name on here.
Okay. We have Mr. Richard. Yeah, Richard on the line.
Good morning, or good afternoon, sorry.
Oh, there he goes. How you doing? How you doing again?
Good, how about yourself?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to have you. I'm Councilwoman Xanthi Albert. We have Councilmember Kobe Owens here, and we have President Trippy Congo on the line. Thanks for coming. And could you just briefly give us a discussion on some of your street common devices that are working in Philly?
Yeah, I mean,
Wait a minute, before you get started,
about.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, before you get started, I just wanted to give kudos. We just met with Del Dot, and they said they were able to use some of the ideas that they had gotten from Philly that you discussed with us over a year ago. So with that, you can continue.
Sure. I know you guys wanted a quick presentation, so I did a quick couple slides telling you, or at least trying to highlight some of the safety or what the city
Could you speak up just a little bit?
So let me see if I can share my presentation. Give me a second. Nothing ever goes according to the way you want it to go whenever you're doing these things. I can't see the share button on Teams in mine. Oh, I'm sorry, I just found it. Sharing is not turned on. Perfect. I just requested it.
Thanks. Yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So the safety within the city of Philadelphia, we have our traffic safety program, and the overall program is equivalent to the Department of Streets mission, which was to create an equitable, transparent, and resident-driven process to improve traffic safety for all road users, no matter where they lived or how they chose to travel in the city of Philadelphia. With that said, we also align all our goals with our Vision Zero. And the mayor recently, when she first took over, renewed a Vision Zero statement that the city of Philadelphia of trying to get to zero fatalities by the year 2030. So we try to align everything. We do realize speed is one of the leading factors of why people are either killed or seriously injured in the city of Philadelphia streets. So we wanted to be equitable, and with that, also set a priority. So with that said, the city of Philadelphia, or particularly council, prioritize schools, rec centers, libraries, senior homes, playgrounds, and a couple other ones, um, so that the streets department could begin traffic calming and making those areas safe. Uh, Anybody can go. We're trying to keep it as transparent as possible. And all of this information is provided under our website, under the phila.gov website. Um, so obviously, traffic improvements are not a one size fits all. It's not just putting, a lot of people, when you say traffic calming, they think of speed cushions. Uh, we're looking at everything under all the kinds of treatments under the table. This is an example. If any of you come down to the sports complex, where both the Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers all play at, it's a roundabout we created down there in order to slow down our traffic. We took a very complex, multi-legged intersection and created a roundabout where vehicles traverse around 20 miles per hour, which is the goal that we're trying to get to the city. So this is just an example of what we've done, but we've also gone out to the community to do a lot of things. We've done gateways, and we treated that roundabout that you saw as a gateway. If you see the final product, there's a flag, there's landscaping, the community likes it. And there's a bike trail around it and things. We've also doing corner clearances with turn wedges. We partner up with schools to do painted bump outs, where we do the bump outs. The kids come out. We close the street down for the community, for the school, and the kids paint through our mural arts program. They'll paint the bump out. The streets department then installs delineators so no cars can park there, and it's something as a way to kind of that we're using to promote safety with the kids and with the community. Painted parking. That should have said parking chicane, and I put it twice. I apologize. But we do have painted chicanes and parking chicanes that we do utilize. That kind of like a vertical deflection as you're traveling down. Um, Obviously, the ones that everybody's familiar with are speed cushions, and our speed cushions we use both rubber speed cushions and asphalt speed cushions. We do speed humps, speed tables, and speed slots. So we do have a variety of different tools we can use when it comes to vertical deflection. We also are looking into traffic diverters, where the vehicles get to an intersection and everybody has to turn right. So through streets are no longer true streets, but we're looking to see what kind of materials we can utilize that then our emergency responders can still respond the normal way they're used to. Parking chicane, which I mentioned with our painted chicanes. We're also looking to, we've done this and just changed the direction of one or two blocks on those streets just to make sure or to keep the cars where we want them on our arterials, the larger streets, rather than on the local streets. So we've been doing some street direction changes throughout the city of Philadelphia in order to slow down the traffic and make sure that the traffic stays where we want them to. And the one a lot of people are also familiar with is road diets. We've been removing travel lanes from the city of Philadelphia, installing road diets. Along with those road diets, we've been installing bike lanes. Um, and we've also now started installing protected bike lanes in some of the areas where the
Bless you.
parking is actually being moved out uh, somewhere between 8 to 10 feet from the curb, and that allows the bicyclist to try to traverse the city of Philadelphia, protected by the parking cars, and therefore we're seeing reductions in injuries and fatalities in those areas. We're also doing mini traffic circles. There's an idea we got from the West Coast, Seattle particularly, where instead of a stop sign, they kind of install like a mini roundabout within the intersection. Cars have to traverse this at a slow speed, and it reduces. It's been reducing the speeds within the city of Philadelphia, and also we're doing painted medians along with um, it's a way to create a vertical deflection. We use painted medians with delineators uh, on the roads that way to kind of slow traffic down so that cars don't travel the speeds. The goal of the city is to that you drive the speed limit. Um, and that's what we're trying to do. But the process, anybody any citizen can request, anybody can request traffic calming. So obviously, the first thing is we check the eligibility. We let the residents know to submit a request to the streets department and to city council. We then prioritize that request. We review the request. Um, if we determine that the request is eligible and does qualify, then we do ask the residents, especially the residents of the block that is being affected, for a petition. That city council can bypass the petition. They can just direct the streets department to install it once it's eligible. And then once it's eligible, we design and construct the work. All of this is available, and we try to keep no secrets from the public. We try to make our process as public as possible. And so we have all of this in our traffic calming webpage, along with the map of the city of Philadelphia that shows you what streets are eligible for traffic calming, and then what streets are not eligible for traffic calming. Just because your street's not eligible for traffic calming does not mean that we will not do something. We do look at the request. And most people look at traffic calming as our vertical deflections, our speed cushions, speed slots, speed tables. But we do take a look if there's a crash data history there. We try to figure out what is the best method we can use for all the tools that we got in our toolbox to reduce the crashes and the fatalities there. So also, one of the things you can check when you submit a request, we do put all the information into our map. You can track your request as it's going, um, and you can see where it stands in the queue. The queue is prioritized every 3 months based on the crash data. So that has been one of the problematic issues we see, is that as uh, crashes happen in one area of the city or the other, we do take a look at try to prioritize, obviously, the areas with the highest crashes. So we are trying to work on that a little better. But this wasn't an idea that the city came. We actually got this idea from the city of Pittsburgh, who has a system like this, who their whole goal is to be as transparent as possible. So we call our peers in the Western PA, took as much as we could take from them, and model our system right after them. Utilizing similar map techniques where people could see where their requests are at, what streets already had traffic calming, what areas have been requested but they were denied, and why they were denied. We just try to be as transparent as possible as we could in the city of Philadelphia to all our residents and anybody requesting. So, and why is it very difficult for us? Well, currently the program is only budgeted for $1 million per year. Um, Obviously, that is not enough. We currently have about a backlog that's about $17 million. So we are trying to get to everyone as best as we can. And this is why we reprioritize constantly, just because of the $1 million and what we're trying to do. We are trying to stretch that $1 million even more. By now, we are utilizing city forces and contractor forces. City forces are obviously the cheapest. Our city crews, we are training what we call what we call future track, which is second chance folks who need a job. We do work with our Office of Clean and Green. They go through an interview process, hire them. We then train them to be asphalt rakers, uh, I'm going to say landscapers, but they work for the Parks and Rec system. Um, so we try to teach them the skills necessary in order for them to then be productive within the city of Philadelphia and be able to get a job in the city of Philadelphia. Our Future Track program, you just sign up for it, you get in it. It's a 9-month program. Once you graduate from the program, then you automatically slide into becoming a civil servant for the city of Philadelphia, and a job is guaranteed if you graduate from the program. But those are all the good things. Obviously, people still do what people want to do. So there is enforcement that we do in the city of Philadelphia in order to reduce the speeds and save lives. We do have speed enforcement cameras in the city. We have red light running cameras. We're just deploying this year school zone cameras and school bus cameras. And also, we've been partnering up with the police department where we have high crash or high crash areas, and they're doing targeted enforcement in that. The police are not necessarily ticketing people; they are trying to educate the people first. And if that doesn't work, then they are ticketing the folks. So that was just a quick brief of what we are doing. So that way it just gives you an idea what the city has been doing, and I'll turn off the presentation.
Thank you, Richard. I do have I'm going to start off with 3 questions, and then I'll let the committee members ask their questions, and then we'll go to the public. First, I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Willars here, and we also have Councilmember Chris Johnson, both committee members, on participating in this committee. My first question would be, I recognize that the speed humps, they seem to be very popular because they're not real big. My question to you would be, how is the feedback from emergency vehicles on the traffic calming devices on a high volume street?
So that is why we created what we call the speed slots. They actually are small enough to that the emergency vehicles can traverse through them without hitting them. So we designed these speed slots. They're about 10 feet long, 6 feet wide, and it slows the traffic down. But the intent was not to slow the emergency vehicles down. We do take a look at the angles, try to make sure that they're only 3 to 4 inches high, that the slopes are far enough that doesn't create too much of a problem for emergency responders. And if we do find one, and we go out there and correct it. We have had to rebuild a couple of our speed cushions just because they were too high, or we made them too big that it was interfering with our emergency responders.
So they're called speed slots, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Right.
every time we come up with a new engineering or we design something new, we give it a new name.
I,
I don't know why, but that's just what my engineers like to do.
Okay, I'm gonna do a follow-up question, then I'm gonna ask the committee members, then we can go back and forth, so I don't ask too many at once. Next would be, I think this is what you're talking about. The last time you presented, you mentioned using temporary speed humps to get feedback before making a permanent installation. Does your department still use temporary speed bumps? I think you kind of just mentioned how y'all changed the size from various inches to the 3/4 inches. Has that been more effective? I think you just answered that, but I just wanted to double check because I have it
So
on my
we've been
list.
using both. We have so much of a backlog that the only way to try to stay ahead or try to do our best to get ahead and to respond to our events, we've been using both asphalt and rubber. The ultimate goal is to stand up a couple city crews just to do asphalt. The asphalt seems to hold better in our winter operations to our plow operations. Our rubber ones are, and the manufacturer will tell you they're not intended for winter operations, so they are supposed to be removed every winter. City of Philadelphia does not remove them every winter, and so every time we have a winter event and we are plowing, we do have to go out there and do some repairs. I would say every event, average about 40% of them are damaged.
Okay, I'm sorry, when you said, just a follow-up, when you said, so you use the other speed bumps, but you pull them up in the wintertime, the cushions, is that what we're talking about?
Yes, we do
Makes
not.
sense.
The manufacturer recommends the rubber speed cushions be removed in the wintertime. We do not in the city of Philadelphia. And as such, we do realize it's additional operational cost to us, um, but we still do it. We still leave them out there because we feel the safety factor is better than removing them every winter.
Thank you. I have some questions from the other council members. I appreciate you coming back again because city council does have close to, maybe I think close to 400,000 in our budget for common devices, and we're trying to use that up. So we're trying to get as much feedback as possible because it is necessary that something is used on some streets because as your presentation started off, speeding is the leading factor to reckless driving incidents, murders, etc. So it is a problem throughout the country. You mentioned Pittsburgh, we mentioned Baltimore, mentioned Philadelphia, and we in Wilmington, we do have a problem. And I'm glad to hear that you said that y'all pull up them devices during the winter. No one ever even mentioned that, so I'm glad to hear it. I think Councilman Kobe Owens was next, and then we hear Christian. Thank you, Councilman Christian. I'm sorry, got Kobe.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Just a quick question about if you've seen this in Philadelphia with pitting in traffic calming devices. Have you seen that the speeding has been moved to another street, a different grid or whatsoever? Or has it kind of worked out with it actually doing calming the traffic in a certain area?
So, interestingly enough, I guess the way I can answer that one, council member, yes. So, a lot of times too, the request we get is because of drag racing and other late night activities that happen in cities. So, yes, we have seen some of those activities move to other areas of the city. We then go with the police department and target those areas and install traffic calming devices in those areas in order to discourage such activity so our police force can then concentrate on keeping the city safe and utilize the resources for a safe city, not to be chasing people around drag racing or whatever else activities they're doing in the middle of the night.
Thank you. And follow up, at the very beginning, you were talking about the equitable prioritization. I know for my district, I have 2 schools, I have 3 community centers, 2 libraries, that North Market Street area for the ones from Wilmington here, we see a lot of speeding at as well too and also you brought up the drag racing as well too. So I think looking at alternative measures outside of just speed bumps, but also these speed slots that I want to look more into as well too could be beneficial for us. Have you seen the local schools work with the city of Philadelphia to identify some of these, or is it just based off your own data?
So we do work with the Philadelphia School District, specifically the police, the Philadelphia School District Police, to identify some of these areas where we see problems at. We also work with the Philadelphia Police Department to identify them. And that is why you see the request. There are 535 schools in the city of Philadelphia. We estimate that each school will take us about $75,000 to do. So we do work with council districts, the councilmatic districts, the school district, and the Philadelphia Police Department to try to prioritize our schools and see where we're going to next.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. We'll come back. Next, we have Councilman Christian. You had a couple questions, then we'll come back.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Councilwoman Oliver, for bringing this presentation to the Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting. I know this is something that you have been working on around safe streets, but I know that it's of interest to a lot of members of council and definitely a lot of civic associations and residents talk about street safety all the time. So I just want to thank you for kind of continuing to bring additional information so that we can make better decisions around this. And my question and I want to thank the city of Philadelphia for your time. My question is what you say you have $1 million budget. I want to drill down a little bit more on like how you get this done. So you have $1 million budget. Is that $1 million for like the actual improvements, or is that kind of all in? And then with that, just how do you do the engineering for these projects? Is it something that you have to pay for out of that $1 million, or is it capacity you have on staff?
So city council put in the budget $1 million a year to do speed cushions around schools. That is the budget for the school system for the schools. All the engineering is done in-house. It took us about 9 months to train the engineers. They can do about 20 designs a week. They've gotten very efficient in the work. So they are, we do have an estimate of how much it will cost us to clear our backlog. And we do give work on a daily basis to both our contractor and our city crews. We also go after, and we have done this, going after federal grants and state grants to further install um, our speed cushions. We also did it where I have taken money and part of our repaving program, as we're paving a segment, if that segment has already been identified for traffic calming, those plans that the engineers have already created are then inserted into our paving program, and therefore, at the end of us paving a street, that street would have all the appropriate traffic calming um, uh, scenario or factors that the engineers deemed it was needed. So we've been very resourceful on how to stretch the dollar, but it's $1 million dedicated um, just for the schools. And again, I could also say that we've been fortunate in July. The state gave us $5 million to go traffic comps to put speed cushions around schools in the city of Philadelphia.
So, and I just had one follow-up question, which is, in terms of impact, how do you track impact on safety and crashes and stuff like that? And do you make that information available to the public as well?
We do. We obviously, when you start to get both federal dollars and state dollars, and even councilmatic district dollars, we do report, we do track the fatalities. We report that on a rolling 5-year basis. If council requests a study or any quicker, we do take a look. We also have to make sure that the crash data is all available to us when we do it. And because we use the PennDOT forms, we're normally a year behind. It's just the way the system works. But we do report on our successes, and we also report on our failures. If something's not working, we try to take a look why, and try to see what measures we need to take in order to correct that and make that neighborhood safer.
Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. Do we have anybody, council member online that has 2 or 3 questions, and we can come back? Okay, I do have another question here. In Philadelphia, can you park on top over the speed bumps, or does it take out additional parking spots?
No, you may park over them. Some cities, as we did our research to the nation, some cities do not put them in the parking lanes. We decided to put them within the parking lanes, just because in case there's no car parked there, we didn't want people to use this as a way to keep speeding. So we do, in essence, have our speed cushions be curb to curb. We do allow slots for drainage, but we do put them under the parking lane, and you can park underneath them or over them, should I say.
That's great. Another question, I know Philly is different from Wilmington, but what's the average cost of a speed bump up there? Ones you're talking about, just the little the smaller humps that we were talking about?
Contractor price or my city crew price, ma'am?
Both.
My city crew is about $2,000. My contractor price is about $6,000.
Yep, that's what they said here. That's about the same. Um, Follow-up question. On our trash crew ride on the back of the trash trucks, what do Philly trash crews do when the trucks go over the speed bumps? Do they get off and then get back on? Have the trash crews been injured as a result of the bumps? These are some questions the director gave me.
So they do ride in the back of them. We have talked to the drivers to go a little slower when they do go across them. The drivers prefer, just like our first responders, they prefer the speed slots. They're a little thinner. They feel they can get the truck through there better. Just as an FYI, when we were testing this and designing them, I was in the back of an ambulance, and that's how we kind of know if they're really too aggressive. We're not trying there to injure anybody or get anybody hurt. So we are designing them by federal standards of a certain slope that the feds request. But our trash truck crews and our fire department crews and our police prefer the speed slots. It slows the cars down enough that they're doing the speed limit, but it doesn't impair them from doing their job.
One other question. Had you, I think you just said that one. So another question: do you put any signage inside the trash trucks or the ambulance, just to let them know? I guess I'm more or less, I guess both, just to let them know what area they're in. If just say if this trash is on the west side today. I think at the beginning, I think that would be good when it's new to let them know which streets because like I said, we're not putting them throughout all of Wilmington. It's just a few areas, as Kobe said, it may be some of the schools. Especially for the record, we have a school down the street, Bancroft, and they had a sign up there, and it's a knockdown, and that's a brand new school. And I know they called 311, but there's something going on with that. But it would be good if someone from Public Works goes right down to Bancroft. You can see where the sign is knocked down, right down the street. And it's a lot going on with, I don't know what's going on with our 311. But if you go down there, you'll see the sign is down. And the other night, the car just ran up like it's, when you go by there, you'll see. So I think that needs to be painted brighter. And I don't know, whatever's down there, it's not working. You can go by there and see all these car marks and they went up on it. But to get back to the question, have y'all ever tried to use that? Was that helpful when y'all first started to put it in the trucks, or do y'all just tell them where they are? How does that work?
So we do keep inventory where they all are. They're all part of our maps. Those when the routes are given to the new drivers, they do see all that. Our plow operators, when they at least when we're doing snow, they get a map, and the map does have located where the speed cushions are at, or speed slots, whatever traffic calming devices. So we do keep this as part of our inventory in our GIS maps, and those maps are then available to anybody who uses them, who wants them, and we do use them when new drivers come in to show them how to read the map and what to see in the map. We do try to get it during roll call to some of them, as to say where we put in the new ones and all that. But they've been very noticeable, and they pay attention. I think the issue is we're probably I'm a little lacking. We get the speed cushions down, and then about 2 weeks later is when we're doing the marking and the signage. I need to close that window down in order to get the information out to everyone as quickly as possible, not just uh, City of Philadelphia workers, but also to the general public.
Thank you. So there is a training, that's what you said. Just as far as the drivers, you may bring the drivers in, give them a little training, this is the map, or give them a sheet to say it's on Walnut Street is here, just so they'd be aware.
we do a training for them, especially when it comes to winter operations of how to handle the speed cushion speed slots with their plows.
Thank you. Councilman Will Alker.
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. I just had a really quick question, and thank you again for your presentation. If you were going to give a small city nearby Philadelphia advice on, how to get something like this started, what are the things that what's kind of an easy win with with your whole menu of different interventions, and where would you start if you were going to, start your program? Where do you think what's the best way to get this kind of thing going so that you can start showing results right away and get public support and maybe increase the budget and things like that?
I would I would say learn from the lessons learned, I guess, or my mistakes. When we first rolled these out, we started doing asphalt. We had a great pushback from the community on, this wasn't what they wanted, this wasn't right. We then found the recycled rubber speed cushions. We rolled those out, and the one good thing about that was that um, if a block didn't want it, if a community didn't want it, they're easy to remove. You're just unbolting them from the asphalt versus when you do them out of asphalt, you got to mill and pave the street again. So if you were looking to do a pilot or looking to start with the rubber ones. It's easy to do. It allows you to get the experience with your 911 responders. It lets you talk to the schools. It lets you talk to the parents. It lets you talk to the community. Lets you see what you're trying to accomplish before you go into something more permanent for that. You can also, I mean, I do have to say that they're probably the number one request. We get is speed cushions, but there's other ways to traffic calm, and we try to convince people to do low budget traffic calming, whether it be with us installing, if it's a road diet where instead of having parallel parking, now you have parallel parking on one side and angle parking in the other. So now you're down to a single lane going down, and you don't have the speeding. So we try to look at all the possible tools in our toolbox that we can utilize. Reversing a block is very simple to do and is very cost effective. Sign crews can reutilize the signs. We get VMS boards out there. We try to get the message out like this block is going to change direction on this date, just so that people are informed. We also can make conversation or make requests to Waze, Google, Apple to hey, this is the day we're going to change this direction, so that people. We also talk to Uber and Lyft to let them know. So just getting this as much information out there and utilizing what we have to get the thing. And it's just people are, at least Philadelphians, don't like change. They're all for change as long as it looks like yesterday. So it's just trying to convince and trying to be going out to the community. And I spend 2-3 days a week talk on meetings like this physically with the community to see what is the issue and what do they see and what they would like to get done in their community in order to make it safe for them and for their kids.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Okay, do we have any other council members online with any question? If not, do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak from the audience? Okay, Chris, I really appreciate you coming, speaking to us, and this is great information. And I was wondering, do we have a copy of his presentation? Could you? Okay, could you forward it over to us, Chris?
Yes, I can forward you the presentation.
Richard, I said I'm thinking my mind is somewhere else. I'm thinking about my next meeting. Thank you, Richard. If you could send it over, I appreciate you coming back again with this great information so city council members can try to sit down and speak to the administration regarding common speed bumps devices that's needed throughout the country, and especially in Wilmington, Delaware. And we do have the funding. So just want the public to know that we as council members are trying to work on these speed bumps. It has not been city council members that have not been advocating for these speed bumps. Hopefully it's we do have a new administration, so hopefully we can get started with just something as obvious as I stated. They definitely need something down at that new school where the kids are. You can see the marks down there. You see the sign has been knocked down. So whatever the device, whatever they have down there, it's not working. I'm surprised nobody has been back down there, but that is my point about the speed bump devices around the schools. And Kobe has quite a few of them in his district, and Bancroft is in my partner's district that we share, Councilman Harley, and they have all them kids down there. So I really appreciate you, Richard, coming on, and you have a good day.
You too. Thanks,
a lot.
everyone.
Sure. Being as though this was just a presentation, we don't have to vote this out. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion carried. Are there any ayes, any favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Great meeting.
Thank you, public.